Mm. Mm. Shit. I'm coming, Ham. Oh, man. What's up, man?
Hey, dude. Good morning.
Morning. Oh, I just got up.
Yeah, me too, man. I've been up for about 2 or 3 hours.
Well, what do you think about podcasting today?
I would, man, but I got some stuff to try to figure out. I'm kind of busy today.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'll be busy later on. And it'd be so much easier. It'd be so much easier if we could just do this here at my house.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, can you just hang up on me? Yeah, that's probably just this connection. All right.
Welcome to Tennessee, boys. Welcome to North Carolina.
Welcome to Georgia.
Guess who made it to Georgia?
And me.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
So, how was the drive?
It wasn't too bad. Glad you're happy to see me, though.
Where's Ray?
Oh, she's back here at the U-Haul somewhere.
Hey.
Hey, babe. So, how long you staying?
Not too long, you know.
Okay. Do you want to do a podcast?
Yes.
All right.
Sweet.
Let's do this.
Did they just fucking leave us out here?
I think I heard the lock too.
So, welcome to the Ham and Cheese Podcast, in person, episode 1.
And welcome. I'm Cheese.
I'm just some guy.
Yeah,
I'm Ham.
he's here. Well, completely. He's made it.
Yeah, I did.
We had a little project we started. We wanted to combine forces to even further. So
It's bigger than the Justice League and the Avengers coming together.
it's basically the greatest mashup of all time, like a super band that forms. when like all the bands like they start to like fizz out, so like the really good members are like, well, I still want to play, so that they make a band themselves.
Yeah.
And it's even better.
Yeah, it's a lot like that, except for I moved from one state in the U.S. to another one.
Yeah, yeah, quite the move too. So after a probably like a third of a day trip,
Mm-hmm.
I have this man and his beautiful wife show up at my house, U-Haul and everything, ready to go. I got home from work literally right before they got there, and it was great. I was unloading the U-Haul, in my work clothes, and yeah. So that also explains the absence, because we've been really busy.
Yeah, we have been super busy, and even after we got here, we were still busy trying to finish up some recording stuff and trying to get stuff in line for the Pokemon Nuzlots coming back and all that sort of business. And obviously, unpacking boxes. And then we also been playing a little bit of D&D for the first time together.
Yes, I had my first D&D experience here with my good old buddy Ham. He was the DM and led us on an amazing adventure, and I want to play some more. I really do. Yeah, it was fantastic. It was honestly fantastic.
D&D is one of those games, man, where like it brings people together, and it's really good at doing that, because even if because I've had groups before where two members either weren't like acquainted at all, or they might even know each other and not like each other, and then by the end of the D&D game it's like, oh, we're buddies because you saved me in the game. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it forces you into a situation where you do have to act together and like make decisions and stuff, which is funny because Earl was playing with us too, and if you know anything about Earl, she decision making is something that she dreads. And so to be put in a situation, I mean, I think she just had a lot of fun with it, just because of the suspense and the I don't know, I mean, it was constant what do you call it, just action.
Well, yeah, that's just my DM style, because with D&D every DM is different. So it's a lot like me and you were talking about in a previous conversation about how different guitar players, they have different styles,
right? And
different DMs have different styles. Some DMs like to do what's called railroad, where they just kind of like push you where they want you to go, and those aren't
right.
I mean, they can be fun, but they're not fun to me personally.
Yeah.
And I enjoy giving you guys the freedom of choice to do whatever. Like, if you want to be a bad guy, then do it to it.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun when it's an open environment and you get to explore, to a fairly high degree. But then also you get to act either the way that you feel like you would naturally, or maybe pursue like another character, like pursue like what would this character do instead of what would I normally do,
or even perhaps something that you deep down inside you would want to do but wouldn't in a normal situation, like if you had real consequences to deal with.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I wouldn't have fought a camp of orcs at all in a normal situation.
I mean, true.
I thought that my magical instrument would help me out a lot more, but
Well, I mean, you are a level 1 bard,
right? Well, things happen.
Well, by the time you get to about, honestly, for a bard, because you still haven't even picked your college yet. This is getting really nerdy for the people that don't know anything about D&D, but a bard college is basically the school of magic that bard uses and specializes in.
Right.
So once you pick a college, you'll become super useful as a bard.
I'm basically a rock star musician, for anybody who's wondering.
Yeah. He plays music, and then magic happens, literally.
Exactly.
He started out with a hurdy-gurdy and ended up with an ocarina by the end of the session.
Yep. And I could play Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles and make lights appear. So that was interesting.
And that's another thing about D&D that I feel like a lot of DMs need to come to terms with, because a lot of DMs, they like and I'm not calling out anybody specific. Obviously, there's hundreds of great DMs out there.
Right.
But there's DMs out there that are like, you come to my table, so you're playing my D&D game. This is my game, not yours.
Right.
And that makes me kind of upset because it's like, these people are coming together to hang out together.
Right.
You're supposed to be, you're not the head of the table. You're supposed to be more like the butler. You know what I mean? Like, you're bringing the story to the table. That's all you do.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. You know, rules, no rules. I mean, or rules and like
Homebrew rules.
homebrew rules. I mean, like, you know, you go back and forth, and there's pros and cons to each. But I definitely enjoy your style of the game. I feel like just because it's very much more open to like the plot changing and developing and things actually, you know, happening in like a really nice progression. I feel like it could be boring a little bit, or maybe too challenging if the rules are a bit more strict.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, see, that's come from years and years. Like, obviously, I was taught how to DM by the guy, you know, the person who taught me. Shout out to my buddy Matt.
Yeah.
And he kind of started. He put the rock into the rock polishing machine. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And then through years and years of being a DM, because usually when you start a group, finding the DM's the hard part, because everybody wants to play.
Right.
And one of these players has to give up their right to play in order to become the storyteller, the DM. I gave up my right to play to become a DM for a group and realized that I love being the DM more than I love being a player at the table. You know, so
Yeah. Right.
I guess, you know, for a lot of people, they DM, but they would rather be playing. And that's whenever you get DMs that kind of like half-ass it or don't put their whole self into it.
Right.
Because they would rather be playing.
Yeah.
And then for me, I prefer to DM. So whenever I get the chance to DM, I just go all in 100%. So,
well, it's like you're painting a narrative. I mean, it's a very, I mean, I can understand how it'd be really fun, you know, from that side. But I really enjoyed being on the side of the character just because, yeah, I've never really had that full on experience before. I think the closest thing to that I've encountered would be Munchkin.
mm-hmm.
But even Munchkin is way different, so much different. But it's just because it's way more numbers, and
It's like D&D with hand holding.
Yeah, it's very much so D&D with hand holding and preset everything. But I will say I do I go back and forth on play styles because like free play and like, or I'd say, you know,
like sandbox top.
Yeah, quote unquote free play. Yeah, like sandbox. Exactly. You know, I like that a lot, but I also like confined rules.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that's cool about Munchkin is it's like everything is already preset, all the cards are there, but everything's random. It's a lot of chance and it's also a lot of math. And then it's also, you know, the cool thing about it too is there is a little bit of free play because of the randomness of it and the human character playing with your friends. You get to the point where you can form alliances with people and you can, you know, work towards a goal. Or you can literally just stab people in the back. And there's ways that you can have someone that's like getting to the top and you can do some bullshit to like they're about to win and you can just pull out all sorts of stuff that you've had like just sitting, just waiting like some sort of trap, and you're like, aha, you thought you were gonna win, but now you're gonna go right back to square one, buddy. Sorry. You know, and it's like vindictive. Like I've played the game and had like friendships ruined.
Yeah.
know, just because like, oh man. And it would drag on. I think that was the worst part is it would drag on to the point of like it would be like a 3-hour game or some shit. And people have just been going on and on. And it's only like a because the basis of it is it's like a 10-level game.
Mm-hmm.
You gain 10 levels and then you win. So it's like you think like, oh, okay, easy peasy. I get a couple levels, I win. Yeah, no, that's not what happens. Because inevitably, somebody starts getting towards the top, and everybody gets worried. So they start focusing on like, okay, we've got to at least divert this dude. So everybody flips out, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy.
Well, see, like that's the thing too that I love about sandbox games, and this is going to expand a little bit past D&D into even sandbox video games. Like the way I think that they should be coded is for a sandbox experience like what I give you guys last night, there has to be a defined challenge or multiple defined challenges.
Gotcha.
Then you need a defined consequence and a defined reward. And the way that I do that is your defined quest is obviously your little quest hooks that you get throughout the game. Your all's consistently defined consequences. If you roll a nat 1, something bad's going to fucking happen.
Yeah.
But your consistent reward is if you roll a nat 20, something really fucking cool is going to happen.
Oh, yeah. We had that happen.
And I feel like that those things are all very important even to a sandbox video game, because if you just, like, GTA does it really well. They're really, really good at that sandbox style. But one of the biggest issues I had with, for example, Just Cause, that video game series, is it was too open. So, like, I would just be screwing around, and after 30 minutes of just messing around doing stupid stuff, I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing anymore. Like, you just get lost, and then you lose interest.
That's a very good point. It kind of goes the same way with, like, games like, I don't mean to bash Fallout 4, but, you get overloaded as well sometimes, and it's a combination, especially with Fallout 4. And I've seen this. It's not only Fallout 4, because I feel like Fallout 4 was just following a formula, as they always do.
Yeah.
But it's this formula that I've seen with a lot of new games, where it's like you get a main quest, you get side quests, then those side quests have side quests, then you have like little other mini quests sprinkled in. And then there's like another quest line, and then something else. But then there's like one that goes on, and then there's one that you have to complete first to do this and that. And it's like, you can juggle all that and make it fun, but if you don't do it just right, it sucks.
Well, because then you go off one of those side quests by accident, get a gun that you're not supposed to have that early, and then you just wreck everything in the main quest, and then it's not fun anymore.
Right. Or you get completely lost, and you end up somewhere else where you're not supposed to be.
And then you get destroyed.
And you get annihilated. So it can be a little bit too open. It can be a little bit, it can be too confined. It's always walking a tightrope with that kind of stuff, but it can be done really well. It just depends on the approach.
So to give you an idea of the way that me and Matt have sat down and talked about this, because we had a long conversation about how we should do our side quests, because me and him hate how side quests are done in the actual books, because it's a lot like with Fallout, where it's like it just ends and now you have to go back and find where you're going.
Right, yeah.
But with me and him, so if you can imagine, I know that the people at home can't see this right now, but if you can imagine a dot that says A and then a big long straight line that says Z at the end, right?
Right, yeah.
What you want to do with your side quest is, instead of going A to A1 and then have to go back to A again, you want to go from like A, and maybe this side quest drops you at C in the main story. You get what I'm saying? You want it to come back around and connect somewhere.
Right.
That way, the main story feels like it's constantly getting evolved as you're doing your side quests.
Right.
So it feels like you're progressing always.
Right. Makes sense.
But another side quest might grab you at point G and then drop you back at B. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, and then you're right back where you started.
But you know what you're doing, so it's not like, and obviously it's not the same story beats. So like if, you do a side quest, it drops you off at point C in the main story, then you do one at F and it drops you back at B. Perhaps what happens at B now, instead of it being whatever it was originally, is a character that you thought you killed, he survived, and you're about to run into him again. You know what I mean? Like, And through doing these side quests and stuff, it makes your world feel very fleshed out, because you get returning characters, you get because all these things are important. If you're running a D&D game and you don't have any returning characters, it's just a consistent kill fest of meet a new guy, kill a new guy, meet a new guy, kill a new guy. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's okay to have some bosses that you just meet and kill.
Right.
But some need to be returning because they build a relationship as an antagonist to your protagonist group. Because it's like, we hate this fucking guy. Like, he just keeps coming back, like.
Yeah, and then it adds a whole level of challenge to the game, because you have to figure out some things. I mean, there are certain elements that are nice that are almost kind of like it's like a brick wall element. Mm-hmm. It's like not meant to be passed through. I feel like if you try hard enough, you might be able to. So it gives you that sense of like, oh, there's something going on here. But it also gives you the ability to say like, okay, well maybe I have to choose another route.
Yeah.
I have to do something else. So.
Well, it's also one of those things too. Like, for example, in the campaign that I'm running them through right now, there's this big feral one-eyed creature that is pale white. They don't know who he is or what he is really yet. The only thing they know about him is that a certain group of NPCs call him Boss, and they have not really got to talk to Boss himself yet. And they're in the middle of this orc fight, and Boss has been built up to them so far as an antagonist that kills people. Like, he's just ruthless.
Right.
But he was helping you guys in that fight. Because just because he's evil and you're good, you guys shared a common enemy, which made you work together. Like,
good point. Yeah, definitely.
But now, in the future, if you ever have an antagonistic relationship with him to where you have to fight him, you have that memory of fighting alongside him earlier along in your story.
Right.
It makes it mean more.
Good point. Well, it was a fantastic time. I mean, I know, especially Earl. She's like revved up. I think she could play D&D every night, probably. You know, if you convince her.
That was me. That was me back whenever I first found D&D. It was every day.
Every day, dude. Yeah, that's fun.
But you know, with the D&D update and all that, there's other updates that's going to be coming. We have some plans in the work for some other things. I'm not going to spoil any of them yet because we want to keep some surprises for you guys. But we have, honestly, guys, legitimately, if you guys love our content and you guys, you know, you come into our chats all the time asking when the next podcast is, asking when we're doing this and that, and we love it. We love getting those questions because it makes us know that you guys are vibing with what we're putting out. But if you're a fan of us so far in the year 2020, get buckled down for 2021 because it's going to be wild.
It is going to be intense. It's going to be crazy because now we are living together. We've got our rooms right across the hallway, and we have a studio that I have a whole bunch of equipment in and a whole bunch of potential for. We're ready. Like, we want to kind of flesh some stuff out, throw some stuff together. I hope you enjoyed that skit.
Yeah.
At the very beginning, because that's gonna be we're gonna try to keep going with stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be a lot more content that we can do together. I mean, we'll be back to back, literally, on all this stuff. And then the streaming should also pick up a lot more. I know, like, we're both in the middle of our Nuzlights. We have some other content that, you know, is probably going to be coming up soon, planned out. And then Earl has her content. Ray will even, you know, start putting some stuff out when she can, and probably, you know, start streaming some games of her choice. So we got a whole lot of stuff planned, and then the bulk of it too is also going to be the lot of us. We're going to have some good combinations.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You know, like we were just talking about D&D, and I'm not trying to roll back onto that, but we have plans for a D&D stream at some point. That'll probably be the second campaign that we do because we want to go through this first one together, just privately. We'll give you updates on the podcast if anything crazy happens. But
right.
We also have, you know, party games. We have plans for Smash Bros, all kinds of crazy stuff. So I'm super excited for what 2021 is going to potentially bring to us.
Yeah.
And I think the most important part of it all is that, like, we're together now. We have the equipment. We have the internet speed. We have everything that we need. We got the brain for the business. But most importantly, we have the drive for this. Like, we're both pushing toward the same finish line.
Yeah.
So
oh, right.
it's a very important piece to that puzzle.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to be we're literally right here now. We're doing it.
We're chilling together right now as we speak. And I mean, obviously, you know, that means other fun perks for your individual channel and my individual channel, you know, cameo appearances, back to back, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
You're going to get to see a whole lot more synergy between the channels. Like, everything's going to make more sense than just being released around the same time. Like,
right. And then our schedules can actually make sense too. So.
But yeah, man, it was a really long drive to get down here. I drove from Kentucky through 3 states basically
Yeah.
to get here, and we went up and down multiple mountain roads that I thought I was going to die on.
Yeah. God, just switchbacks and freaking.
And the whole time that I was in North Carolina, we didn't have cell phone signal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because I guess they just don't believe in cell phones there.
Well, and depending on which highways you're going on, it's like they're just all. A lot of that goes through, I think, like borders, like national forests and stuff.
Yeah, I think it was US 19 that goes through the mountain. Like we were going up and down the mountain.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
We even took a dirt road at one point, which was weird.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that is weird. But yeah, I know way out there, it's like there's just nothing because I mean it's like a conservation area.
Yeah, it was really really beautiful though. The interstate part about gave me a stroke because there was hundreds of cars flying around me at breakneck speed. But all in all, it was a really good trip, man, and like I'm really happy to be here, like with all the future plans and everything. I think that it's going to be really really fun.
Me and Earl, well, especially mainly Earl, she just cleaned for like days. Like it had to be like at least 3 days straight of just cleaning and moving things and reorganizing. And we set up a room for them and got everything ready, and just got everything put up that didn't need to be there, and we made you guys a little welcoming
Yeah, it was really sweet.
platter and everything, and yeah, it was awesome. But the only the only downside so far of all this has been Zoe is Ham has
4 cats.
4 cats, 3 kittens.
Yeah,
3
well,
more kittens.
the 3 kittens weren't mine until just very recently.
Right.
Because they didn't have anywhere else to go.
And they're cute as hell. And the 4th one is his cat Biff.
Yeah, you guys have heard him on stream before.
Mm-hmm. And he's awesome. And they're cool. They're good cats, and they're all sweet as can be. But Zoe just does not like to share. So this whole time she has been like pouting in like the corners of rooms, and she has not been like sitting on the bed with us. And anytime one of the cats comes in and gets close, she just starts to growl at them. But she hasn't swiped at them or anything, so I mean she's okay, but she's just gonna have to get over it.
So far it's been all bark, no bite.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's a sweetheart though. She really is. She's a really cool cat. I like Zoe a lot.
She likes other people. She has no problem with other people, and she really likes used to be just me, but she really likes women.
Mm-hmm.
She loves like Earl, and then like whenever her cousin comes over, she loves her cousin. She just goes right up to her and she's like, "Love me."
That's cute.
And she likes Ray.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah.
she likes Ray a lot.
She usually greets me every morning whenever I come out. She's laying on the couch. I'll be like, "Hey, Zoe," and she goes, "Meh."
Yeah, she has a very distinctive, just like, kind of short little meow. And if you give her treats, she will just love you forever, and then she will never bother you when you're in the kitchen. Because it's funny. She somehow in her little brain it's wired that if you go into the kitchen, that means she like kind of walks in the corner and rubs her little tail on the corner of the refrigerator, and she looks up at you with her little doughy eyes, and she goes, and she's basically saying, "You give me treats, I get treats," and because the treats thing is right on top of the refrigerator.
Yeah,
and Earl has trained her to well, and then like for the longest time it was like she would go out and she'd come back in and Earl would be like, "Oh, Zoe, you're so good," and she'd give her treats. And then she'd get trained, "Oh, if I go out and then I come back in, I get treats." So she would literally go out, she'd walk around for a little bit, and she'd come back, she'd sit at the doorstep, and then she'd wait because she'd come back in and she'd get some treats. She's like, "Okay, I just have to go in and or go out.
If I keep
come
doing
bring-
laps, I can keep getting treats. Like,
Right, just in and out, in and out. So she loves her treats.
unfortunately, though, man, with it being 2021 officially, finally out of 2020, thank God. But unfortunately, I did want to mention this on the podcast. You know, we watched wrestling not that long ago on an episode, and you guys didn't get to see him in that episode, but one of the best wrestlers, honestly, of this era of wrestlers, he passed away right near the tail end of 2020. His name was John Huber, aka Brody Lee, aka Luke Harper. But if any of you guys were interested in wrestling for the first time and haven't watched a whole lot of it from the episode we did the watch along, I recommend going on YouTube and just type in Luke Harper or Brody Lee, and you'll find some of his stuff. He was really, really amazing dude, and he died way too young. He was 41 years old. It's
Sheesh.
it's a bummer, legitimately, because you know, in the wrestling world, you really don't hit your peak till like 39. From
Right.
age like 40 to 45, that's your peak time. And he was just getting started into his peak, and he's gone. But I did want to mention that on the podcast because he was like one of my favorite wrestlers, and you know, I just wanted to have it out to the audience that, like, you know, he meant a whole lot to me as a person. But yeah, rest in peace, Brody.
Yeah, R.I.P. Brody. That's crazy, man. You know who else died just recently was MF Doom.
Yeah, I saw that on
The guy.
Twitter.
Yeah.
That's sad.
2020 is just like, well, before I go.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. I just realized I'm looking at the calendar at the bottom of my computer. It's just crazy to see it say 2021.
Yeah, I feel like we accomplished something by making it out of 2020.
Yeah. We made it through the year.
Oh, God.
Man. Well, I already know, like I said, like we said, that 2021 is going to be
Oh, yeah.
that much better.
Oh, yeah. 2021, especially entertainment for you guys wise,
Mhm.
it's going to be freaking insane. Because, like, we got the Nuzzots going.
Mhm.
You're closer to finishing than I am, the first game.
Mhm.
But the way that's going to work, we might as well just say it here, because we brought it up on your stream before, but now it'll be like recorded.
Right.
The way that the Nuzlite works is so you'll probably finish red before I finish leaf green, and then
Right.
we were going to have whoever finishes first, they take a break from the Nuzlite until the other person finishes, and then they both start the next one at the same time.
Right.
That's just to keep our content like in line with each other for the most part.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you'll probably end up finishing before me, which will give you a nice little break before you go into gold.
Well, dude, and then if that's the case, what I'll do is if I finish before you, and you're still playing, then I'm going to start streaming Wind Waker.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I actually got him Wind Waker for Christmas.
Dude, I'm so freaking ready because it's been too long since I played this game, and I know where like everything is, and I know like the whole map and all the little stuff. So I'm just ready to start it up and play it on stream. I just want to do a full playthrough on stream.
My original plan was to get you a Wii U and Wind Waker HD for it,
Yeah,
but I couldn't find a Wii U anywhere.
dude. And then, dude, the Wii U too as well. Like, it's still expensive.
Mhm.
It's crazy, but it makes sense because there's games that are only on the Wii U.
Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, the original one, they re-released it for Switch later. Mario Kart 8, the original one.
Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword, that's on the Wii, but you can play it on the Wii U.
Is it on the Wii as
Yeah.
well?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How is it on the Wii? Is it
Motion
Is it
controls.
so it's not the best?
No, it's not the definitive version.
Right. Yeah.
Twilight Princess HD though would be something that I would be super interested in trying.
Is that on the Wii,
Wii U, yeah.
Okay.
I think it might
Nice.
be on the Switch too. I'm not sure.
No, not yet. I don't think.
But there is a game that I want me and you to play against each other on the Wii U. We'll have to like hook it into your setup at some point and play it because I have the Wii U here with me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's Pokken Tournament.
Pokken Tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
It's a Pokemon fighting game.
Huh.
So it's like you pick a Pokemon, and instead of it being like turn based, you have like a punch, kick, special move, like
Yeah, like Smash Bros.
Yeah.
For Pokemon.
which makes Blaziken just fucking OP in that game. But
Wasn't that basically the idea of an actual fan-made game?
mm-hmm.
And was this made before or after that?
Before,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Have you played the fan-made game, the one that I'm thinking about?
no, but
It's-
I've seen it on YouTube
Okay,
before.
because I was gonna say like that's all like hand-drawn fan-made stuff. It was taken down
Oh, really?
by Nintendo.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Of course it was.
Nintendo took the whole project down because it's not to their liking.
That's weird. But I was actually watching this thing online where they said that the Pokken Tournament game, like the fighting in it and stuff,
Right.
was supposed to be like the next gen Pokemon fighting engine.
Oh my gosh!
But they couldn't get
Wow.
it to work in an RPG setting, so they were just like, but this is really cool. We put a lot of time into it, so we'll just turn it into its own game.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's still awesome. Especially with the handheld games, like it. I don't know. It'd be cool for them to try something like that, but I feel like at the same time, like it gets to the point where I don't know. It's like I love the turn-based style, like I always will.
Mm-hmm.
Because it adds like a whole level of tactic,
Yeah.
you know. Whereas if it was all fighting style like that,
Yeah.
everybody would get a Blaziken and just mash B all the time, or,
Yeah.
or something, whatever.
Well, actually, I love the way they've balanced Pokken Tournament because
Cool.
Blaziken, he's like the best one you can play as an early game. Like, so whenever you're going against like Pikachu and stuff like that.
That would be Earl's character.
Yeah.
What you would pick.
But once you get into the higher level stuff, Sceptile and Gengar, surprisingly,
Oh yeah,
are like the two best ones to whip the shit out of Blaziken with.
that'd be cool.
Which is weird because you wouldn't think Sceptile would be where it's a grass type.
Mhm.
But she has the like like she can do the tail swap thing where she flips around.
Like ranged attacks, maybe.
It's not like a ranged attack. It's you get within range to where Blaziken would be able to kick you, but then you can tail flip and like knock him down. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it kind of throws off his whole major offensive moveset.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
But it's
pretty
really
dope.
cool because they get to do like their little special moves too. So like Pikachu can do a Thunderbolt and like,
Pikachu.
And speaking of fighting games, we brought it up a little bit earlier. Super Smash Bros. I'm very excited to play this.
I want to get all four of us on screen together, and
You have what, Melee, right?
melee.
Okay, I have Brawl in there.
We can do. How about one of each? I mean, what I really want to do, what I really need to do, honestly, at some point, is get all the characters back in melee because
Mhm.
I don't know what I don't know how I had them all, and then lost the save
Yeah.
or something. But I still haven't gotten them all back. But I've got a lot of them back. I think the only ones I haven't gotten back are the ones where it's like stupid, insane crap that you have.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Game and Watch. You have to beat like classic and adventure mode for every character,
Mm-hmm.
and then fight Game and Watch. Or
You know what would be really fun to do?
what's
Would
that?
be to play Project M together.
Yes, I have wanted to actually get that set up.
I think I might have it on my Wii already.
Really,
Yeah, because I used to play it all the time.
I tried to get it set up on the GameCube with my Action Replay,
Mm-hmm.
but
I got Project M working over Brawl, so I reskinned it over Brawl,
gotcha.
which
Okay.
is like one of the alternate methods to do it with.
right.
Because basically what it does is it takes Brawl's graphics and it keeps them,
Mhm.
but then it changes it to like Melee's like internal game working
Oh,
set.
okay.
So like, but Project M is great because Ganondorf has his own moveset,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not just like a reskin of Captain Falcon.
Yeah. I've heard about that. He's like a lot more effective.
Oh yeah, like he can do Link's bomb attack.
Right.
He can do he has his big giant sword.
Right.
So he can do kind of some of the same stuff like Marth and Roy, where he can like throw the sword and all that shit.
Right.
It's super cool though.
Well, what's weird is I don't know why they never included a projectile for Ganon in the games. Like they never gave him a projectile, did they?
I don't think so.
because like it's weird because like you see all the games and like both Ganon and Phantom Ganon had projectiles. They'd make little kind of orbs of energy and they'd throw them at you. And it's like you would think that he'd at least be able to do something like that.
Yeah.
You know, which is always something that I wondered about. But yeah, I never liked the fact that he was just like a reskin of Captain Falcon. But I will say this: the nice thing is, he's kind of a balanced version of Captain Falcon. I say balanced. I mean not balanced. He's differently balanced.
Yeah.
Because Captain Falcon is like all punch and speed, but he's like crazy hard to handle. Because you're just flying back and forth on the map, and if you flip the joystick too fast, you're gonna fly off the edge. And then Ganondorf is more like a slow moving tank, and everything takes forever, but you land a punch and it's just insta death. You know?
Yeah.
You land the right hit.
But with Project M, you also get like access to Ridley.
Oh, cool. That'd be really fun to
and
play.
like
as.
Rayman's on there, and
that's crazy. Awesome.
Yeah. Well, there's also the Switch Smash Bros. We should play at some point. I don't have it yet, but I want to get it.
Yeah. I'd like to get that at some point. Try it out.
I just feel like it'd be really fun because the art style is very like cell shaded in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That'd be cool. Cool to play.
Speaking of which, I just had a great thought while I was sitting here, and I know this isn't like something related to what we normally talk about on the podcast, but we've been trying to come up with a thing to call the four of us for a little while.
Right. Yeah.
Why did we never think of Elite Four?
Elite Four. We're the Elite Four.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could be the Elite Four.
Yeah.
It'd be great. But the Elite Four has the champion too.
Well, yeah, but they're kind of an outside thing because the
Yeah.
Elite Four are all buddies, and then the champion's just like the best person that's come through.
That's beating them since.
Yeah.
Okay. You're right. Okay. Let's be the Elite Four.
Sweet.
I like that idea a lot.
I'm just kind of surveying your office because I've not really sat in here a whole lot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you have Pokemon Coliseum. I have XD Gale of Darkness in there.
Fuck yeah. I need to play that as well at some point.
Well, I was actually thinking once you finish your Coliseum playthrough, I'll just let you play through Gale of Darkness.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
I would like that a lot. You know, it's great. You see those boxes up there in that closet.
Oh, yeah.
So those are all CD cases. I bought. They're each one is 50. It's like 200 empty CD cases.
Mhm.
But just for the purpose of like whenever I get CDs, like that one, I think I replaced that one on the table. I always get CDs from Goodwill, and the CDs usually fine, but people just don't take care of their CDs, so they're tossed around and broken and all sorts of stuff. So I literally bought just like box loads of them so that I could replace a whole bunch of them, and then I recycled the rest.
Oh, cool.
But it's just funny. I bought all these CD cases, and then I found these two actually, these mini CD cases. I got a whole pack of them as well, and Earl's just like, "Why do you need all these things?" But like for me, like CDs, I collect CDs because it's kind of like it's a really cool way to have a physical copy of like an album that you really like that you can also put on a computer. And so for me, I have all my music loaded on my computer, and then I have it to where I can play it on my phone. And it's cool to have the CD and then burn it on the computer and have it, available to you as well. And then if anything ever happens, like the 3 times or whatever now that my hard drives have crashed on me, also the same reason I will never buy another, what was it? No, it wasn't Seagate.
Seagate's usually really good. That's what I use.
Yeah, it might not have been Seagate. It might have been Western Digital. Or no, I think it was another company. I can't remember.
My go-to usually number 1 is Western Digital, and then after that Seagate, and then I don't trust anything else.
Right. The only other company I trust for hard drives would be Samsung, because they make really good solid-state hard drives.
I would trust them for their solid state.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'd trust a hard disk.
Yeah.
Western Digital Blue is usually a good go-to, or Western Digital Brown. I've had a lot of good work with the Western Digital Brown ones.
Right. What I'm thinking of is I used to have an iOmega hard drive.
Oh, Jesus.
You remember them?
No.
So it was I think it was a company that eventually got bought by Kingston,
Mm-hmm.
who I really have only seen them ever make flashcards and thumb drives.
Yeah. They do still make hard drives, but they're like really cheap.
Yeah, I imagine so because iOmega sucked, and it sucked so hard that the hard drive like just completely screwed up on me. The software that came with it, because it came with software and a disk, so you could load it all up and everything. It sucked. And what happened is the company got bought out by Kingston, and they shut it down. And literally, like, what was it? Like, you'd have to download. I think there was like an update or something that I wanted to download at some point to get my hard drive to work. Like, something happened. Anyway, the thing is, like, I go to like the iOmega website, and it's like, oh, we are no longer iOmega. We're Kingston.com. Here's a redirect. You go to Kingston.com, and it's like, there's just nothing iOmega. And then at the time, like, you know, for me, like, my second choice is like, okay, well, I'm going to go on a forum. I'm going to go look on a forum. Like, you know, just type in, like, what happened to iOmega, you know, and I'm looking through forums, and everyone's like, yeah, so it's all gone. You know, yeah, there's no more support. They pulled it. Your hard drive is now, like, you know, not
Completely useless.
well, just out of support. So
Yeah.
if anything happens, then you're fucked. And that's basically what happened. It's
Man.
actually right there on the floor underneath that CD thing. It's buttered up to the table. It's basically just a brick now. Just a cold brick.
Yeah. Man, one thing I would really love to do for us at some point would be to make a server tower
Oh yeah.
to store all of our like videos and stuff in.
Dude, I have thought about like
Becoming a Bitcoin miner. Me too.
yes. Well, you know, you can buy like old, like really cool like Microsoft servers
Mm-hmm.
for fairly cheap, and by fairly cheap I mean, like, you know, they usually range in like the thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars. And I've seen them to where like the older ones that are used by businesses, and then like basically what'll happen is the business will either change companies, like IT companies, or they'll upgrade, or something else comes along, or they outsource,
Yeah.
and they're like, we're not going to use our own server, we're just going to make something on Squarespace. And so instead, then they just or they, you know, outsource to some other company. Anyway, they just have this huge server, and usually they're massive, and then they end up just selling them for dirt cheap, because a lot of them don't even know
What they are, what they're worth.
they're worth exactly. So I've seen them pop up like here and there for like, you know, like a really nice one for like $1,000. Like
We wouldn't need anything like super huge.
Mm.
You know, just something to keep a backlog of everything, like all our videos and stuff.
Right. Just like with like 20 like hard drive racks.
It could be really, really neat actually to store it there, or also even to make like a Elite 4 Productions, whatever website,
Yeah.
and just have all of our videos come from the server to that.
Right. Well, and that'd be really nice for whenever we finally want to expand out, and inevitably YouTube and or Twitch just like
Poops its pants.
well, they poo poo on our ideas because you know we're too good for them.
Yeah, as most creators are.
Well, it just comes down to like eventually you hit a wall where it's like you want to make something but rules,
Yeah.
and so it's like, well, I want to do this somehow. Yeah.
Well, see, I think honestly, man, like the way I've always looked at YouTube, and I love YouTube, and I've gone out of my way multiple times to try to make the whole site better.
Yeah.
But the way I've always looked at it is once we hit a certain size, I want to step away from YouTube itself.
Right.
I would like to have my own website because YouTube's great, but if we ever when we build up the audience that's willing to come to our website, then we can promote whatever other smaller content creators we want, and it doesn't matter. Like, you can create whatever the fuck you want, basically.
Well, see, what you do is you make a breadcrumb trail.
Mm-hmm.
You lead people to your website. So basically, like on YouTube, you stop posting videos, like full videos, maybe, or
Highlights.
you start posting just like small clips, or maybe you just you post all your videos on YouTube like a day late
Mm-hmm.
or something. And then everything on your main channel is like instant. Everything's there. A lot more like integration, a lot more control.
Yeah.
But that way, you get people, because YouTube is still, you still want to have a presence just because it's a huge platform. So it's just you're fishing in the pond.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to go ahead and like leave some stuff on YouTube, but make it known like, hey, we have this. Come over to here. Blah blah.
Yeah.
And all it takes, like from what I've seen, like everyone says that on YouTube that I've seen as far as creators are concerned, like as long as you tell people to like, subscribe, follow, this, that, go to my website, do this and that. If you just tell them to do something, the chance of people doing that, you're gonna catch that much more people. That percentage is gonna go a lot higher just because you're mentioning it. A lot
It's
of people
called
don't
a call to action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hey, if you're watching this right now, would you mind hitting that like button, hitting subscribe, following,
Hit the notification bell.
hit the notification bell,
Type in the comment, ham's cool.
smash that motherfucking like button.
Bro fist.
Yeah, bro fist your computer, and then smash the like button. But yeah, I think what it does too is it gives you an actual, it straight up just reminds you of that it's there. And I think a lot of people, they'll be like watching it, and maybe even just watching it in the background, or they're watching it and they're not even like, they're consumed in it and they're not even realizing like, oh, my like actually matters as far as to like, these people. So yeah, it's and then the thing is like, then people wonder like, how did these people, these crazy like prank family channel vlogger channel, blah blah blah, Jake Paulers, how do they get so famous? And it's like, well, because like in every video, like when they start off, it's like, hey fam, welcome to the channel, this is Jake Paul, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe, blah 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 blah, go to my channel, I've got merch for sale, oh yeah, you gotta hit me up and go smash that like button, subscribe. And it's like, well, it's flooding it. And I know it's like, it doesn't appeal to everybody, which is why there's people obviously like you and me that motherfucking hate Jake Paul because he's annoying as shit. But it's gonna catch all the other people.
Well, it catches people, especially younger kids.
It's a big net.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And you hit it right out of the gate, so everybody that clicks that video, they're hearing that from the word go. And not only that, those guys. I mean, say what you want about them. I don't like them myself personally, but they are dedicated to their fucking craft.
They're on the grind. I'll say this, like on YouTube too, like the bar is already set fairly low.
Yeah.
And just because like for the normal average person, it's set fairly low. I mean, I feel like people like you and me, like I consume a lot of content on YouTube.
I do too.
Yeah, exactly. We've got you and me. I feel like I speak for both you and me when I say we both have channels that we consume a lot of, we respect a lot, we look to for inspiration, and it's like that sets a bar for most people, especially the younger generation. I feel like that's growing up where YouTube is basically just like background noise. Like it's just something you throw on and then you watch some videos and you watch somebody speed run for a while and then you do this and that, or then you have like the old folks that think it's just tutorials. And it's like, I just go on there to figure out how to fix my tractor. And it's like I guess what I'm trying to get at is like the bar is already set at a certain degree, but it's not set like crazy high like some sort of like Hollywood theme. Like, it's not like multi-million-dollar budget type stuff. I mean, it's like as long as you just have a drive and you just do stuff on YouTube, like as long as your audio quality is not shit, and you know,
I mean, in some cases, even if it is, you can still get popular.
Yeah. It just comes down to like it's not a huge bar to set, but I will say this, like it gives you a huge range of opportunity where like you can jump into it in the mix and start just making like, I mean, I've seen channels that just jump in, start making amazing content, and then within like, 3-4 months they're huge.
Well, see, it's one of those
Massive.
things too where I had a buddy who at one point in time was fairly big on YouTube.
Right.
We're talking like 2006, 7, and he had like 10,000 subs.
Yeah.
Which was like freaking huge.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But he told me there's 3 ways to become popular on YouTube. Either 1, be entertaining.
Right.
2, be able to do something that nobody else can do, like speed run efficiently, something like that.
Right.
Or give a tutorial about a car, or,
Right.
Or 3, have something that no one else has. So you have a piece of technology that nobody else is using. You have buttery smooth audio, like, something that sets you apart and makes you different.
Tits and ass.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But I think as far as that goes, man, I think a lot of the times me and you fall into that first category, the be entertaining category. Like the thing we bring to the table is ourselves.
But I'll say this too, it's like that's the major part of it. I mean, it's like it's just our combined craziness, like just like the full range of the exploration of our minds. But then on top of that, like I am a sure out for just like striving for perfection. So I'm like, I love trying to make something that is both, like mine, like I make it with my own hands, but is also like crisp, clear, nice. So like I'm a huge nerd for audio, obviously, and video as well. So it's like I plan to like we can continue to just add to the mix and try out new stuff and just experiment. Like that's the coolest part about it, is just the straight up just experiment, see what happens. And I love those moments when you experiment with something and then you go, ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, okay.
Yeah.
We got to do that again.
Yeah. I love those moments whenever you finish a video and you're like skimming through it to make sure there's no mess ups in it or anything. And there's just something about it that like catches your eye and you're just like, that's nice.
Yeah.
Like
that's what I wanted.
see, because you love audio a lot. You're a big audio nerd, like you said.
Yeah.
And video. And I think audio is super important too, obviously. But video is like my bag. You know what I mean? Because I was a video production guy. Right. That's what I did.
Yeah.
So I love visual stuff. And like one of the things that I've always wanted to learn how to do that I've done very, very few, like I'm very novice at it,
Right.
is learn how to use stuff like Blender.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to get more into that eventually. But
yeah, that'd be cool.
I'm really looking forward a lot, like, to working on new overlays and getting everything looking crisp and clean. And like, I love stuff like that too.
Me and Ham are both paint.net wizards.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's funny is, honestly, like, I could try to go all out on, like, Photoshop or something, but, like, I just don't, well, one, I don't have Photoshop, but also, like, if I had it, like, I just don't know what I would want to do with Photoshop. I feel like I'm so content with paint.net. Like, everything that I make, it's, like, it's not amazing, but, it's a really nice feeling to like just build stuff up on paint.net.
Well, also on paint.net though, the thing is like if you ever feel like it's too novice of a tool for you to use, you just go to their website and get more add-ons. Like you can just build and build and build. You can make that as extensive as you really wanted it to be.
You're right. And what's funny is I don't think I have any add-ons.
I have a 260 add-on APK package on mine.
Wow.
Yeah. So for like blossoming effects or like crystal effects or
oh wow,
yeah,
huh. I need that.
Yeah, you literally just go on Google and look up paint.net add-ons, and there's like whole forums just dedicated to like this lets you warp words into a circle, or this lets you like
wow,
do whatever.
I had to do that for Audacity to be able to export in MP3 because natively you can't export in MP3 because licensing.
Yeah,
so. It's weird how that shit works, but I remember having to do that. So that wouldn't be too hard to do with paint.net. I know that's the awesome thing about paint.net is they're super like open source as well.
Well, see, that's the thing too. Paint.net itself, like if you just downloaded the raw thing itself, it's totally serviceable. You can use it, but like you can make it to where it accepts Photoshop format. You can make it to where like because there's add-ons that literally let it load in like GIFs My buddy Tom, he makes a lot of GIFs.
Actually, you know what? I did download an add-on because I did make a GIF. I actually made the GIF for the channel with Paint.net.
Oh yeah, cool.
In the old, we don't use it as much, but the EC GIF. I mean, it's on the. I'm not saying we don't use it as much. It's on freaking every beginning and end of our video.
We don't use it anymore.
We really don't use it
except
as
for
much,
on every
though.
video.
Yeah, exactly. But it used to be in the background all the time. I actually need to start maybe getting away from doing stuff like that as much. Maybe in the beginning and end it's not too bad, but during the video I feel like it knocks down the video performance.
Yeah, it does actually because that's on Twitch's side.
Well, yeah, it's just video. What do you call it? Is that Zoe?
Yeah.
She's just trying to get out.
But it has to do on Twitch's side the way that it processes it.
Yeah.
So if you have a consistently moving image, so like in the background of your Pokemon Nuzlocke where it's just red, it's actually not even changing that frame.
Right.
It's the exact same frame.
Yeah.
But if you have something that's moving, that frame is changing every time it renders.
Yeah, and then especially with video processing, like the newer scale processor, like video processors that we use nowadays, like what they do is they actually like find portions of the screen that aren't like are stagnant or static or whatever, like you're saying, and they just keep those portions the same. And then like any portion that has like motion in it, most of the time like they take just elements of that motion. So like the EC, for instance, they just take that tile and they just move that selection of pixels. But eventually it comes across something that it has to change it up with. So that's why you see stuff like artifacting, where like it gets really like wonky and pixely and stuff because it's literally trying to like build the image off of the previous frames and trying to move those pixels. And other parts of the frame are staying the same. You know, like in...
She got it open.
Oh, yeah. She's brilliant. That's like, I don't know. Eventually, I guess I got to take my Christmas theme off of our videos. But one other thing about the Christmas theme is we had the snowflakes falling, and it looks really good, especially if you watch on YouTube, where it's not so harsh with the video processing. But God, the snow just screws with the processing, because anytime the snow loads up, it's like everything just artifacts for a minute. But then once it runs through a couple frames, see, that's what happens is then the processor picks it up and it realizes where things are going, and then it's able to do it a lot easier.
There was a YouTube channel that was like testing YouTube's compression.
Yeah.
And he ran a video through 100,000 times.
Oh, wow.
And eventually it was just like, I think it was like by the 1,000th trip around, it was looking for wider blocks of pixels because where it compressed so much.
Oh, wow.
So like his forehead would not change, but like his eyes would move, so his whole face would artifact because it was like trying to rebuild that image. Like,
it
was really cool to watch.
That's crazy. That's like old VHS tape bootleggers. Like you can tell like how many generations a VHS tape has made it through, like depending on like the quality of it, like because of the amount of transfers.
Yeah.
And especially like the equipment, like really high end stuff won't leave as many artifacts, but like you have some like cheap run of the mill like tape duplicator, and you run it like a copy of a copy of a copy over time. It's just like grainy as shit. You just can't see anything.
That's actually something that's kind of funny that I figured that you might be interested in the history of, and it has to do with professional wrestling. So back in the day, before internet and all that, tape trading was a big thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So just like with anime and all that, like tape trading was huge, and like it's a lost art now.
Oh yeah.
Because you would think that, like, my obvious assumption would be that once tape trading became not a thing anymore and everything started moving online, that you would have a lot of file trading going on, like people throwing files back and forth through torrents and stuff.
Right.
But it's not really as big as you would think.
No, and yeah, I mean, it's like torrents were big for a long time, but it's just always been like cracked down upon easier. But that's like quick fact, that's like Metallica, you know, they got famous by tape trading. All of their early material was all on you know, that's how they started. They recorded on tapes like themselves. Like what's it, garage type recordings, and then sent them out, and that's how they got famous.
That's cool.
I've got shit.
Which
tons
is
of
really
Metallica
weird
tapes.
that they would be against Napster.
Yeah, it's just so stupid. And that's why everybody hates Metallica now, because they got famous by word of mouth basically, and then they just and then they get really big and really famous, and they make a whole lot of money, and then they tell people like, you can't do all that, and yet like people are printing their shirts like left and right.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, guys.
Well, guys, happy 2021, by the way.
Lord, I can tell you all. Me and Ham were just saying this before the podcast too. Like, we're so ready for 2021. You know, as far as like what we have going on, like 2020. I don't know. It's like when you're a kid and you see like a puddle and you have like there's like a big huge rock somewhere, and you take the rock and you throw it in the puddle, and puddle just goes everywhere. Like, my life was that puddle, and 2020 was that big rock, and so it's everything is going everywhere. But it does kind of leave you open to a like it's displaced everything, but now we're gonna find our places again.
Well, yeah, it's one of those things that sometimes, man, when life displaces everything that you know, at first it looks horrible because it's everything just went everywhere.
Yeah.
But it opens up spots for new opportunities like this to happen.
Yeah.
That, maybe a year ago wouldn't have been an option. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like,
When life gives you lemons.
beat somebody over the head with them.
Right. No, you stuff your shirt.
I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, though.
Mm-hmm. And we will be back soon enough. We're going to try to make this more regularly. And I'll say this, it should be that much more regular, because we are going to literally just walk in.
Yeah.
Podcast time.
But I've been Ham.
And I've been Cheese.
You guys have been great.
Yeah, we love you all. And we'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.